Round 3 of 6 in the 2023 French Sidecar Championship after visits to La Motte-Landian in March and Morissette in May. Outfits already up at the tapes in La Réole this afternoon for the first of 4 scoring heats. Off the inside gate in the red helmet colour, the last into line will be the 86, Jérôme Lespinasse and Jean Bertrand. Gate 2 in blue, the number 14, Rémi Valadon and Dylan Fourcade. Gate 2 in white, the 76, Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant. Gate 4 in yellow, the 32, Clément and Romain Furet. And off the outside gate, the number 21, Jérémy Malpère and Sébastien Mounier. The starting marshal has them settled and walks away, takes up on the first of 4 scoring heats then here in La Réole. And the fastest start is with Valadon and Fourcade off gate number 2, moving to the mid-track line on the first 2 turns off gate number 3. Winners of the opening 2 rounds of this 2023 campaign, Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant, straight off into hot pursuit, try to move around the outside of the early race leaders, going into the top bend for the first time. It's side by side then up front. See if the Comblant brothers can get the run here. Coming off turn at number 4, it's Valadon and Fourcade who defend the line and move across aggressively at the start of lap number 2. Separate race on the opening lap for 3rd position, but Lespinasse and Bertrand look to have seen off the challenge now of Clément and Romain Furet. So it's all about top spot between Valadon, Fourcade and the Comblants, who, as I said, won the opening 2 rounds of this 2023 season. Also the French champions in 2022, ahead of Valadon and Fourcade, who are back to have another go this season, but have 6 points to make up in the overall standings. They're looking good in this opening race of the afternoon in scorching conditions here in La Réole. And remember, this will be first blood to them and a handy early advantage. 4 scoring heats, there's no one-off grand final in the French Championship. So 2 races this afternoon and then 2 supporting the long track challenge later on this evening. And 4 opportunities then, 3 more coming up for the Comblants to try and get on terms with Valadon and Fourcade. 1 lap to go of this sizable La Réole oval. And it does look as though the number 14 has got this race well and truly in command. Valadon and Fourcade now stretching their lead in the second half of this race after coming under close attentions from the Comblants on the number 76 outfit on the opening lap. But they've taken control from there, and it will be first blood to Rémi Valadon and Dylan Fourcade, winners of heat number 1 here in La Réole. Second over the line for Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant on the number 76. Third place to Lespinasse and Bertrand on the number 86 bike. And then it's the number 21, Jérémy Malpère and Sébastien Mounier, with a mechanical retirement later on in the race for Clément and Romain Furet. Disappointment then for them as they failed to score, but it's first blood to Valadon and Fourcade. Heat 2 up next, and as chance would have it, the riders line up here as they scored first time out. So Rémi Valadon and Dylan Fourcade, the winners of Heat 1, this time have drawn the inside gate in the red helmet colour. Gate 2 in blue for Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant, who were a close second in that opener. Gate 3 in white for Jérôme Lespinasse and Jonathan Bertrand. Gate 4 in yellow, Jérémy Malpère and Sébastien Mounier, who inherited a single point ahead of Clément and Romain Furet, who retired with mechanical difficulties. Good to see them back up to the tapes for the second race of the afternoon, which gets underway with a flying start off gate number 2 from Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant. The reigning French champions then hit the front, up ahead this time of Rémi Valadon and Dylan Fourcade. It was a decent jump from Malpère and Mounier, but they've now been relegated from 3rd back down to 5th position, with Clément and Romain Furet moving into 4th place, and they will now begin their pursuit of Jérôme Lespinasse and Jean Bertrand. But certainly on the evidence of what we saw first time out in Heat 1, the 2 closest outfits are the 2 top outfits, giving us a bit of a spectacle this afternoon in La Réole as Rémi Valadon and Dylan Fourcade, despite finishing 2nd place in the opening 2 rounds of this season to Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant, look the faster of the 2 outfits this afternoon, and they're trying to close down the early race leaders. No doubt that it was a faster start from the Comblants of gate 2, got across the path of Valadon and Fourcade in towards turn number 1, but they are going to be under pressure by the looks of things throughout this race. Valadon and Fourcade back to the inside line at the start of lap number 3. Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant, though, seem to have this one relatively under control. Reigning French champions also made it through to the final of the European Championship last season, walking away with 6th position, the only French outfit to make it through to the finals. But Rémi Valadon and Dylan Fourcade giving them a good race here. 1 lap to go. Up front, Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant hoping to level things up at the top of the meeting standings at the halfway mark in La Réole this afternoon. They are stretching their lead now into the final lap. through the pits turn, they seem to gain a fair chunk of ground. It looks as though Valadon and Fourcade have now settled in to bring this second place home, and it will be 7 points apiece for our two meeting leaders, with 2 races still to come later on this evening. So we're set up nicely for our support class tonight, as the 4 race points go to Guillaume Baptiste Comblant, second over the line for Remy Valadon and Dylan Fourcade. 3 points for them, so it's 7 points apiece now after 2 completed rounds of races. Third once again to Jérôme Lespinasse and John Bertrand. They move on to 4. Single point goes to Clément and Romain Furet, their first point of the meeting. Malpère and Mounier failing to score out at the back, so it's 1 point apiece. But up at the top, it's 7 apiece for Valadon, Fourcade, Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant. Heat 3, and off the inside gate in red, Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant, 7 points out of a possible 8, and joint leaders with Valadon and Fourcade, who go here off the outside in green. Between them, Clément and Romain Furet, Malpère and Mounier both on 1, and Lespinasse and Bertrand, who go in yellow, to third places for them on 4. Takes up and away we go, and it's a relatively poor start off the inside gate in red for Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant, and they're going to be trapped here because they've been outdragged to turn 1 by Clément and Romain Furet, and Guillaume and Baptiste have now managed to force their way through, leaving Clément and Romain out at the back. Difficulties for the Furets once again by the looks of things with mechanical issues, but that has held back the reigning champions in just third place on this opening lap. Now they're reaching up to the outside on the top turn. Next for them to try and dispatch the number 86, Jérôme Lespinasse and John Bertrand, who finished third in each of their opening 2 outings. Jérôme, former soloist, of course, former European Grasstrack finalist on the number 86, with Bertrand alongside him. And slowing now, coming off turn 2, slowing off the bottom bend, Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant. They're picked off by Malpère and Mounier, and they're slowing further still. Looks as though they're going to go to the back here. Clément and Romain Furet, who've had mechanical difficulties of their own this afternoon and this evening, retired from their opening outing, but they are now through for 4th, relegating Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant, the championship leaders in 2023, to the back in Heat 3. And there's no grand final for them to try and make up ground. This is over 4 races. They've lost a quarter of their point scoring opportunities, and suddenly it looks as though Remy Valadon, Dylan Fourcade, with a race victory here in heat number 3, are also going to all but assure themselves of the meeting win in La Réole tonight. And it will all be from here about the battle for second, because Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant look vulnerable for that place as well. Jérôme Lespinasse and John Bertrand with second place here will move level with them on 7 points, and it will all go down to a last heat decider. But Remy Valadon, Dylan Fourcade with victory in heat number 3 round the final 2 turns, and they are going to have dropped just 1 point from their opening 3 outings. Had the comfortable beating of the Comblants anyway in this one, heat 3, but now only need a single point from their final race in terms of taking the meeting victory here in La Réole. Second over the line then for Jérôme Lespinasse and John Bertrand, their best ride of the day so far. They move on to 7 points, but a dramatic retirement for Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant could just have reignited the 2023 French Championship. They failed to score from that one, meaning they're joint second in the meeting standings with Lespinasse and Bertrand, 4 behind Valadon and Fourcade, within touching distance of victory tonight in La Réole. 2 points for Malpère and Mounier. Clément and Romain Furet drop a point behind the number 21 outfit now on 2. But it's all about that race for second position and the fight for top spot in the French Championship. Well, with such a comfortable advantage over the rest of the field earlier on this afternoon, and tied on points after 2 races, we might have expected this to be a last heat decider between Valadon, Fourcade and the Comblant brothers, but instead Valadon and Fourcade, with 2 wins out of 3 and a 4-point lead, need only score 1 point here to take their first round win of the season and 25 championship points. Series leaders, the Comblants, will lose at least 3 of their 6-point advantage. They would lose 5 if they're beaten by Lespinasse and Bertrand. The spoilers here: Clément and Romain Furet go in red on 2 points. Malpère and Mounier in blue, a point ahead of them on 3. Valadon and Fourcade in white, they're on 11. Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant in yellow on 7. Lespinasse and Bertrand on the same score. They go off the outside in green. Tiebreak if needed in the case of equal points. The best result in this one, heat 4. We'll start in the blue helmet colour from Malper and Mounier. Otherwise, it's a very level break. First to the first turn, Clément and Romain Furet on the number 32 outfit. They're pursued now by the two meeting leaders on the wide outside. Watch for Lespinasse and Bertrand battling with Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant on this opening lap. That's the crucial duel in terms of second position in today's meeting, and the opportunity here for Rémi Valadon and Dylan Fourcade to close their championship deficit. They're coming back into this race now from third. They've come through on Lespinasse and Bertrand at the end of lap 1, and it does look as though they want to take the final word here tonight in La Réole as well. They're going after Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant, the championship leaders. Beaten though tonight by Valadon and Fourcade, who just need a clean 4 laps from here on in to take the meeting win. Pursuing from third place, Lespinasse and Bertrand. This is the closest action actually we've had in the sidecars so far tonight, as Clément and Romain Furet look to have put their mechanical difficulties behind them. They're keeping up a good lick in 4th position. Out at the back, Malper and Mounier coming gradually back into the race. They're closing the deficit now for 4th. But our race in Heat 4 is up front. Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant, looking for their second race victory of the afternoon and evening, are holding on valiantly. But Valadon, Fourcade, as they have all afternoon and night long, have the pace advantage. They come around the outside on the top bend and through to lead with 1 to go. Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant will try to come back at them, but already Valadon, Fourcade are stretching their lead. Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant doing all they could tonight to beat Lespinasse and Bertrand in this one, heat number 4, which is going to maintain the bulk of their championship advantage. As out at the back, a change of position now for 4th, Malper and Mounier coming back into the race, and they have come through on Clément and Romain Furet, so that will settle 4th position in today's meeting standings. But victory in heat 4 and in the meeting here in La Réole, the 3rd round of the 2023 French Sidecar Championship, goes to Rémi Valadon and Dylan Fourcade. And with a commanding performance as well, 3 victories in 4 races, 15 out of a possible 16 points. Second over the line in that one heat for Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant. The reigning French champions are still your series leaders in 2023. They scored 10 heat points for second in the meeting, a point ahead of Lespinasse and Bertrand, who once again take third place in heat number 4, and that moves them onto a score of 9. So 1 point behind the number 76 brothers. 4 points to Jérémy Malper and Sébastien Mounier after getting the better of Clément and Romain Furet in the latter stages of that one heat 4. Crucial overtake for 4th position in the meeting, and that means that in terms of the championship standings, it's a first defeat of the campaign for Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant. They add 22 series points to 50 to move clear on 72. 3 points now rather than 6 ahead of Rémi Valadon and Dylan Fourcade, today's meeting winners. Third place in the meeting to Lespinasse and Bertrand. They move on to 39. They missed the second round of this season, so they have still plenty of ground to catch up. Third position in the standings, Malper and Mounier. They take 19 points, so pull another point over Clément and Romain Furet. Their advantage for the battle for bronze is now up to 4. But it's all about the top, where Guillaume and Baptiste Comblant's advantage is halved by a superb effort this afternoon and this evening from Rémi Valadon and Dylan Fourcade.